Hi, friends. My name's Johnny Young, aka Johnny Upgrade. I'm a cybersecurity expert and author with 35 plus years in the field. I wrote this book, available on Amazon. It's called Don't Hack, How to Kick Hackers to the Curb. And you can find my articles online, dozens of publications. But what we're going to do is talk about available job openings in our field. And this one is interesting. It's a senior cybersecurity engineer. The company is Boeing. Says the salary estimate is about $122,000. Now, this whole part here, tell someone from HR wrote it. They've got a lot of words in there that aren't very specific. But if you look here, it starts to get interesting that this position, there's an option to work from the Kennedy Space Center. I like that. El Segundo, California. It's not too far, about 20 miles from Seal Beach, maybe north of there. Vernon, Virginia, or Aurora, Colorado. And you'll be working with people in the program in a variety of states. Successful candidate will understand the importance of cybersecurity in all phases. I hope so. If you're a senior cybersecurity engineer, product security engineer, responsible for applying interdisciplinary, collaborative plan design. That's just something that you'll see all the time in any job. Very vague, but it starts to get interesting here, I think, where it talks about the satellite vehicles are the security features that are really specific here. Then you're going to implement RMF processes for embedded security on the computing systems there. The candidate, the position, another portion is to evaluate resilient network operations for a satellite system. So now we know it's all about cyber systems and satellites. Evaluate customer operational needs. Yes, we know that. Technical parameters, I hope so. Perform various analysis of total systems and system architecture. That's a given. Identifies assets, assesses risks, threats, vulnerabilities of the product assets. You've got to understand accepted professional, industry, government standards. Okay. Knowledgeable and secure manufacturing and anti-tamper design. That's specific to this. Next is knowledgeable and secure manufacturing and anti-tamper design, as we said. Evaluate remediation recommendations. That's good. Employee system security processes, methods, tools. Resolve functional technical issues. Now is when we start to drill down of what they're getting into, what I think of as called a wish list. Appropriate accreditation for different organizations. CSIG, DoD, ICD 503 RMF, NSPOM, DoD overprint. Okay, you got experience with that, great. Coordinates with system administrators, network and software engineers, test and evaluation, and the validation engineers. Program management, that's a given. Travel up to 25%. So if you have this position, you're going to have to travel to some of these customers and internal meetings. I guess Zoom isn't good enough. They want people to be there on the spot. As they say right here, work under minimal direction, but this position is expected to be on site. So the candidate's going to be required to work on site at this listed location, which would be in Seal Beach, California. Work authorization, it requires a top secret SCI security clearance. Now candidates are starting to fall off. because it requires an active top secret position. And you have to be a U.S. citizen too on top of that. And it says a U.S. security clearance that's been active in the past 24 months is considered active. Basic qualifications, bachelor, master's, or doctorate. If you've got a doctorate, I doubt you'd be going for this position, especially at this pay range, too low. But it would be in engineering, computer science, information systems, or other cyber-related degrees. 10 or more years directly related experience in lieu of a degree is accessible. Then we start going down to the DoD, 8570 IAT level 3 certification. More candidates are dropping off if they are being strict with their wish list. 10 plus years experience with information security systems, which they've already basically said. More preferred qualifications, successful completion of a counterintelligence polygraph. That's unusual. You'll have to take a polygraph test, which I'm not too sure about those. Strong JSIJ background, experience leading software assurance planning, and they go into all the different things that you need there. More wish list stuff. Candidates right now are down to 100 people in the United States, maybe, if they have all that. Typical education, again, bachelor's, or 14 years, or 14 years, since they said 10 years was acceptable in the field. But bachelor's degree, 14 or more years, engineering classification, or a master's degree with 12, or a PhD with 9. And so they're basically saying if you have a bachelor's, you need 5 more years of experience than someone with a PhD. I don't know if that really makes too much sense. Maybe it does. And you need a bachelor's from an accredited course of study in engineering. So this is just the same thing again, except they threw in physics, math, physics, chemistry. ABET is the preferred, although not required accreditation standard. Relocation. This position offers relocation based on candidate eligibility. This is interesting. Drug-free workplace. You'll have to take a drug test to get here, get a job here. Boeing is a drug-free workplace where the applicants are subject to testing for marijuana, cocaine, opioids, amphetamine, PCP, and alcohol when criteria is met as outlined in our policies. I guess it could be one of two things. You get an initial drug test and then some follow-up drug tests, or you're subject to testing. It says subject to testing. I guess if someone comes in looking really high or acting erratic or spouting off about crazy things, they may ask for a drug test. I don't know. Two of those aren't considered illegal drugs. Marijuana, alcohol, but of course, cocaine, opioid, amphetamine, PCP. Are opioids, though, if you're under a prescription of a doctor? I wonder what they think about that. This is a first shift position, and they strive to deliver a total rewards package, eligible employees. They have probably a great benefits program. I don't know. Maybe they are cutting back. A lot of big companies save money by cutting back, especially if they have as many employees as someone like Boeing. But they'll definitely have health insurance, flexible spending accounts, health saving accounts, retirement savings, life and disability insurance, and other various programs for paid and unpaid time away. The specific programs are based on where you're located, date of your hire, such and such. And the salary information below is a general guideline only. Salaries are based upon candidate experience and qualifications, as well as market and business considerations. So they give a listing for Colorado. I don't know why it's there, because this is a listing for Seal Beach, California. But Colorado, they say the minimum 121,000 to 225,000. Quite a difference in the range. Maybe if you have your PhD, that's where the upper level comes in. Or if you can get most of the qualifications on their wish list here, they're a equal opportunity employer, but now that you've seen the salary, most people are interested in that. Here's their estimate of salary, size, 10,000 plus employees, way above that. Public company, so they have a lot of restrictions and qualifications they have to meet. They're in aerospace and defense. Founded in 1916, way back when. There's some good series on the History Channel about people who founded this company, and I really enjoyed the ones like the Men Who Built America, I believe one of those, and they had one on Boeing himself, which is great. Industry, again, aerospace and defense. Revenue, 10 plus billion, a huge company. I have to say, I worked for McDonnell Douglas, which was 250,000 employees before it was absorbed by Boeing. So you can see how big Boeing is. Now, here's some reviews you can look at. Pros, good benefits and good support program. 155 employees said that. And then you have on the cons, someone else said that their benefits were cut dramatically during the time they had been there. So it says they were there for decades. Doesn't surprise me that the benefits were cut. I saw the same thing in my work experience. Every year it seemed like the benefits were getting cut because it behooved the company to save money. Pro, work-life balance is good for those who have kids. Con, no work-life balance because of calls every day in the evening. Good pay is a pro and great experience. Con, pay is low for programmers compared to other companies in the Seattle area. Pros, good people. Cons, there's so many people you can feel like a small cog in a big machine. And I could attest to that working from some very large companies. Pro, generally immediate management has been effective. Con, bad management, overly valued degrees, and they only care about managerial bonuses, seniors. So all of these pros and cons are based on your own experience. I know for a fact that you could go from having a great manager to a poor manager or vice versa. And it's sort of like the Amazon reviews. You can find a great review and then you'll find a corresponding bad review for the exact same thing. And I hope you got some good info out of that. That concludes our job opportunity for senior cybersecurity engineer, Seal Beach, California. And it would be at Boeing with a salary of 122,000 to 225,000. They didn't give the salary range for Seal Beach, but they had Colorado, which I guess is comparable. I am not endorsed by Boeing. I have nothing to do with Boeing, but I hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.